Hey guys, welcome to the PaynePoints Mini. We are back again with Katie Meadows today. So Katie, why don't you start us off telling us what I'm terming as everybody's baseball stats, age, where you're from, job, relationship status, all the fun things.
Right. So I'm Katie Meadows. I'm 25 years old. I live in Lufkin, Texas. I am not currently married in a relationship, no kids, um, and I'm a tattoo artist at Black Spot Tattoo Company.
Fun. Being a tattoo artist, I'm sure, has a lot of interesting side benefits. Why don't you tell us what the best thing is about your job?
So I really like that I get to meet a lot of very different people. Um, I I feel like in most of like the normal jobs in life, you like meet pretty much the same kind of people all the time. Like if you're an accountant, you're mostly dealing with other business people and stuff like that. And
Right.
I see people from like all walks of life, which is
Right.
great.
Good deal. When you were a kid, what was your dream job? What did you want to be when you were little?
So when I was like really little, I wanted to be a teacher, but see, my mom was a teacher, and I heard all the horror stories, so that faded off really quick.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think after that, I wanted to be a like therapist for a long time. So, but my parents were like, no,
Like
absolutely not.
like a psychiatrist therapist or like a physical
I
therapist?
like a psychiatrist
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah. And they didn't want you to
As
do that?
weird as it sounds, like my friends had a lot of drama,
Uh,
so I was used to it.
yeah, so you were already kind of filling that role. um,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, whenever you're starting your day, I've heard a lot of people and I've read a lot of self help gurus and motivational speakers talk about how when you start your day, starting it off in the most positive way possible is going to get you in the best frame of mind. What is your morning routine that kind of gets you off on the right foot?
So I'm still working on perfecting it, honestly.
I think that's all of us.
Pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, I would go to Standpipe and hang out at the bar and read tarot cards and journal, and I would read I kind of cycled through a bunch of different books that were more about like, I want to say self-help, but like that's such a weird term. But they were like about like bettering your life basically and like things you could do better. Post COVID, my morning thing has just been um, coming in and I listen to music on my way in most of the time or like a podcast or something,
Mm-hmm.
something like uplifting typically. Or even like funny, but I try not to keep it like too dark in the mornings because I feel like that sets a bad tone for the day.
Yeah. I got to keep it light and positive these days. There's too much nasty as there is.
Definitely.
So, well, speaking of music, what is something like a favorite band or a song that really like pumps you up in the morning or throughout the day that you just like turn on anytime you start to get into that funky place in your mind?
So, I really, really love listening to a lot of like folkier, like almost country kind of Americana music.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really been into Brandy Carlisle lately and Melissa Etheridge. Um,
That's old school.
yes, yeah, I really like all that stuff. But then as far as newer stuff goes, I mean, all of the bands that we have like heard and seen at like Wildwood, so like Margot Price and
Yeah.
Jason Isbell wasn't a Wildwood, but it's like that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like that feel good sort of wrap
yeah,
yourself up in a blanket kind of music.
cozy, chill.
Right, makes you feel good. What would you say is your favorite inspiring quote or something with some words of wisdom to impart to all of us?
So I have like an all-time favorite from Orson Scott Card. it was in his second book in the Ender's Game series, Speaker for the Dead.
Yeah.
But it was
That series.
It's so good. More people need to read it.
I know.
But the quote is, "This is how humans are. We question everything that we believe except for the things that we truly believe, and those we never think to question."
That's really good.
Yeah. And then also, you know, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg is like a big like hero of mine, and so like with her passing and stuff, I've really been digging into her life and a little more and all that. So the women belong in spaces where decisions are being made has definitely been like on my mind a lot lately.
Yeah. There was a lot of quotable things from her whenever she passed away. I was seeing pop up and I would like, I'd forgotten about that. Oh, that's really good. Yeah. So good stuff. Yeah. What is your top 3 favorite social media accounts right now?
So, this is a hard one. I really love, that's difficult. I think there's one called like Cosmic Guidance or something, and it's a collection of female creatives that are also into like kind of like spiritual and like witchy things, and they create like a lot of digital illustrations, and they put them up, and they're super like inspiring. And then I also follow Brene Brown's social media. I love her so much.
Lots of great quotes from her too.
Definitely. And then beyond that, I really keep up with Margot Price's social media because I really admire her in the creative world and all the things that she's doing, and her crossovers like politically and in the music and art world.
Yeah. Okay. With that in mind, who would you say might be your current role model or mentor? Is it one of those people or is there somebody else?
Definitely Brene Brown right now. And I cycle through people, but she has a podcast called Unlocking Us. And that's one of the ones that I really generally listen to in the mornings on my way in because it's really cool. She like interviews other authors sometimes, and those are generally like longer ones, like an hour to an hour and a half. And then she has short ones that are just like her talking, kind of like her TED Talks, where they're like 30 minutes. But
yeah, I've really enjoyed some of her books, and I really remember several years ago reading one that was all about vulnerability and how you know that's it's really important, and I think we should all kind of try to adopt that mindset if we could. Well, in closing, what advice would you give yourself, your younger self, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago? What is something you would tell that person to prepare them better for the future?
So I think my biggest thing, and it's something that I'm like working through right now, is I would really like to go back to whenever I started changing myself for other people and like grab my younger self and like shake them and be like, don't do that. Stop it. Like, it's a lot harder to get back to who you were than it is to change for someone else. And it's a lot of work to find yourself after that. So just don't maybe.
Yeah, we do spend a lot of our younger years doing things to please other people, and that is a hard hurdle to overcome. So I think that all younger people need to hear that advice and take it to heart and try not to do that to themselves, because you're going to be way more happy if you live authentically right from the start. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media if they want to get a tattoo from you, or if they want to just keep up with your life.
So I'm on Facebook. It's just Katie Meadows. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. And then on Instagram and Twitter, my handle is Tiny Tattooist, and it's TinyTattooist. So there's a lot of repeating letters in there.
Yeah. Good deal. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on and sharing little tidbits about yourself. We're going to try to continue this series with past guests and hopefully future ones. And thanks so much for taking the time out of what I know is a very busy tattoo schedule for you to sit down and talk with us today. So thanks a lot. We hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And Katie, we'll catch you at Black Spot Tattoo.